Good morning, class 8 students. We are here with geography from St. Mary's School, Nagina, to teach you first chapter, that is interpretation of physical features on a topographical maps. Let's go through this video so that I will explain you all the related terms of a topographic maps.
Interpreting the physical environment shown on a topographical map. In this module, you will learn how contours are used to interpret various physical features on a topographical map, such as the height and shape of the land. The physical environment of the Earth consists of many physical features like hills, rivers, lakes, and plants. Have you ever wondered how these features are represented in a map? Lines and area symbols in a map represent physical features like hills, rivers, lakes, and plants. Lines like contours are used to represent the height and the shape of the land.
So like this we used to represent. These lines are contour lines, and many other physical features are used to represent. Then symbols, you have to learn conventional symbols also for proper understanding. There are different color codes also. We have to keep in mind all the color codes which are making us to understand different physical features on a topographic map. Topographic maps are large scale maps. They used to represent the earth.
Contours are imaginary lines that join places at the same height above the sea level. Contours not only show the height of the land, but also represent the relief of a place. Here, contours represent the shape and the slope of the land.
Yes, you can see clearly these are imaginary lines. By seeing the slope, you see red line is showing a steep slope. Steep slope means closed contours, closely spaced contours. And this black line is showing gentle slope, that is large space. Large space you can see in the top. Large space is there between the contours, so it will be gentle slope. Gentle slope means elevation angle will be very less, and steep slope means elevation angle will be more. So like this.
Interestingly, contours do not really exist in reality. They're only imaginary lines. While reading contours in a map, you should keep the following points in mind. Contours that are close together represent steep slopes, while contours that are far apart represent gentle slopes. If the contours are very far apart in a particular area, it indicates that the land in the area is almost flat. This land is called a plain.
So in this plain you see.
How do you think data for drawing contour maps is collected? In the past, contours were drawn on the basis of ground surveys. Today, aerial photographs and satellite images are used to draw contours.
So these are imaginary lines which are shown on a topographic map. There is a topographic map in your book. Observe the topographic map and go through this video carefully. This is Earth, and this is different settlements out there. So in the past, contours were drawn on the basis of the ground surface. Today, aerial photograph, that is satellite photographs, are used to draw contours. Today we have different
Specific contour patterns are used to represent different physical features like hills, mountains, valley, plateau, and ridge, etc. A hill or a mountain is represented by circular contour lines. A hill is less than 600 meters high, and a mountain is above 600 meters high. Contour lines representing hills and mountains increase in height towards the center.
Have you seen carefully? They are increasing towards the center. If it is a hill or mountain, first outer line is of 100, then it is increasing.
A valley is a low area between hills and mountains. On maps, valleys are shown by contours pointing towards the higher ground, forming an inverted V from the highest to the lowest point. Streams or rivers in a valley are shown with the blue lines on a map. These blue lines cut through the contours at the V. A plateau is an upland area which has steep slopes and a broad, flat top. So, widely spaced contour lines represent a flat top or surface. A ridge, which is a long, narrow, steep-sided upland area, is represented by contours that are closely spaced. In this module, you have learned the following. Physical environment consists of physical features such as hills, rivers, and lakes, which are represented by lines and area symbols on a map. Contours are imaginary lines on a map which join places at the same height above the sea level. Contours represent the following on a map. When shown close together, contours represent steep slopes. When shown far apart, contours represent gentle slopes. When contours are shown very far apart, it shows that the land in that area is almost flat. Different physical features are represented by specific contours. A hill or a mountain is represented by circular contours which increase in height towards the center. A valley is represented by contours that point towards higher ground, forming an inverted V. A plateau is represented by widely spaced contour lines. A ridge is represented by closely spaced contours.
So this was understanding how contours represent physical features on a topographic map. In our next video, we will understand about settlements. So for this, you have to read the chapter thoroughly and understand. If you have any query, kindly put in comment box. Okay? Wish you all the best for your studies. Stay at home and study well.